Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. One more basketball topic that I do want to get to before we wrap this episode of the Aaron Torres Pod. And I think we're going to make a little bit of history here on this episode. It is because for the first time that I'm aware of, well, I guess technically the second time, and I'll explain why we've talked about this previously, but really for the first time, we are going to be talking TBT to wrap this show, okay? A lot of you probably sitting there driving, you're at the gym, you're trying to figure out, Torres, what the heck is TBT? You've talked about college football. You talk college basketball. Sometimes every once in a while you'll talk NFL. But TBT, what the heck is TBT? And why are you talking about it, certainly to wrap this show? Well, TBT is actually quite literally, it's the basketball tournament, okay? So it's the basketball tournament. It has been played for about probably 5 to 6 years now. And really what it is it's a single elimination tournament. And really, most of the mainstream colleges put together a team of their former stars, and they compete for $1 million winner-take-all first prize, okay? So, for example, Kansas has had a team in this event for years. This year, Frank Mason, among others, was on that team. Wichita State always has a team. Syracuse always has a team. Well, why we're talking about it to wrap the show, it's a fun topic to kind of wrap. But this year, it does feel like the TBT has been a little bit more mainstream, and we got ourselves a wild story at the end of last week into this week. But like I said, it does feel a little bit more mainstream, and, you know, my alma mater, UConn, now has a team, Stars of Stores. They got eliminated already, but I know that even in the UConn community, they want to get games on campus at Gamble Pavilion next year. Should mention, by the way, you know, local celebrities, if you will, have been showing up. You know, Pat Kelsey, the Louisville head coach, has supported the Louisville team. Mark Pope came to one of the Kentucky games a few days ago. Oh, by the way, I mentioned this on one of our clips. Jasper Johnson, a 5-star guard from Kentucky, was at Kentucky's game a few nights ago. So it feels like this thing has gone a little bit mainstream this summer. But if you want proof of how mainstream it is, how about this? Monday night, we will get a quarterfinal between the team of alums from Louisville and the team of alums from Kentucky. And why I bring it up, why this is a topic to wrap the show, is pretty straightforward. It is because they are expecting 10,000 people at Freedom Hall in Louisville, where the Cardinals used to play. I love that they still use that building to play basketball. But they are expecting 10,000 people at that TBT game. And if you wanted proof that nobody loves basketball like the folks of Kentucky, and that right now there is no more heated or hated rival than Kentucky-Louisville, I think this is kind of the proof that you need. Now, in terms of like the big picture, small picture, whatever, listen, one thing I will say, I'm not going to break down this game. Maybe there's a podcast or radio show or whatever out there that really has gone deep dive on these two teams, and if they have, credit to them. But what I will say, this has been a really, really fun watch over the course of the summer. Eric Bledsoe, by the way, is playing for the Kentucky team. I've watched a couple of their games. If Eric Bledsoe should be in the NBA. No doubt about it. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't care that he's cooking a bunch of 32-year-old guys that have been out of the league for 10 years. That dude should be in the NBA. But beyond that, what this says to me and what this game says to me is a couple things. First of all, it was so cool to see the excitement as the tournament has gone on, specifically with these two teams. Like I said, when the game became official on Thursday night, it wasn't just that they were playing each other, but how about this? The Kentucky and Louisville fans basically broke the ticket side, okay? It was cool to see in real time on social media. You had, how about this? They put out, I think, probably 4,000 or 5,000 tickets at once. They immediately sold out. I will go on social media. The TBT people from the official TBT account said, no, we're not sold out. More tickets coming. Then they put more tickets out. They sell out. More tickets come out. They sell out. And so all of a sudden you have 10,000 people that are going to be in the arena on Monday night. And I think what it just speaks to is, one, like I said, first off, there is no rivalry like Kentucky and Louisville. You can debate it. You can argue it. You can fight it. You can whatever. There is bad blood. Everybody is on top of each other. There's a lot of Kentucky fans in the city of Louisville. Listen, Carolina and Duke is great, but we know that half of Duke's alums, probably more than half, probably like 90% actually, don't live in North Carolina. They come from the Northeast. They come from wherever. They go to New York. It's not the same, okay? It's not the same with Arizona, UCLA, with maybe Kansas State is close, but there is nothing like this. But two, I just give TBT credit for creating some compelling content in an otherwise slow time in the summer. Listen, I'm like everybody else, during football season, during basketball season, I'm watching games basically every night. In a couple weeks, we're going to have Thursday night NFL, Friday night college football, Saturday college football, Sunday NFL, Monday NFL. Every single night we're going to be in front of the TV. Once college hoop season hits, I'm in front of the TV basically every night. And then the spring hits, the summer hits, there's not as much going on. So TBT has created compelling content. I would add the Elam ending helps. Listen, I don't know that I believe like the Elam ending should come to the NBA, but basically the Elam ending is basically this, is you get to a certain point in the game, and rather than just running out the clock, you set kind of a target score. So the first team that gets to X number wins the game. So if, Kentucky's playing UConn and Kentucky's 85 to 80, it becomes who's the first one to 95. And so it just changes the way you end the games. But this has just been a really fun, really entertaining tournament. And when I look at this, I just give the people credit because, again, not everything is everything, right? Not everything has to be a Super Bowl, national championship, this, that. But it creates nostalgia. People are into it. Again, I can tell you as a UConn alum, I know a lot of people that were into the UConn team that was in this event. I can tell being on social media how into the Kentucky team that Kentucky fans are, the Louisville team that Louisville fans are, the Indiana team for that Indiana has fielded. So this is really cool. But again, I just cannot believe that on Saturday or on Monday night, when the Louisville and Kentucky teams play, that they sold 10,000 tickets to this event. Like I said, I think it just proves to me beyond a reasonable doubt that there is no one quite like Kentucky fans. By the way, I did reference that we did mention this earlier in the summer on the pod, and it was in passing because why I mentioned it was this Kentucky team, the La Familia team that is in this tournament, actually did scrimmage the current 2024-2025 Kentucky roster. Kentucky was without two projected starters, Lamont Butler and Kobe Brea. And Kentucky's current team beat this TBT team filled with a bunch of pros. Like I said, Eric Bledsoe, Daniel Orton, who played in the NBA for a minute, the Harrison twins, James Young, Willie Cauley-Stein, whatever. And we talked about, is this Kentucky team a little bit better? We'll find all that out here in the coming weeks and months. But very cool to see the TBT have a big stage. And I'll be honest, I'm going to be watching on Monday night. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie and pretend like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be breaking, we're going to go live post-game and I'm going to be breaking down the box score. But it's cool. It's awesome. Credit TBT for doing something fun.